The Joker continues his vendetta against the Bat family in Batman number 14.
And Marvel now keeps rolling on. We've got Matt Fraction's Fantastic Four, Brian Michael Bendis' All New X-Men, and Jason Aaron's Thor.
So we start this week with the first book that we started this whole show with. We've finally looped around.
Looped first month.
That is exciting. And it is, of course, Batman number 14. Death of the Family continues.
It does.
The Joker is still after all the members of the Bat family.
He is.
And we get revelations from the last episode. And other things happen and such. Dan, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, this, there's no denying, this was so good. This was so good. It still looks as good as it ever has. It all really comes down to this showdown that we get. We get Batman Joker.
Yeah.
It's the kind of Western style. You can almost hear the kind of good, the bad, and the ugly in the back. Yeah, exactly. You can almost hear that in the background as they're facing off. What I will say is this book is going to stand or fall on its payoff, because it's planting a lot of things. This issue is written to make you go, what? Like and I made all those noises, so it hit all the right notes.
He was on the tube. This one no one sits next to you.
Yeah, that might very well be true. But it's going to stand or fall by if it manages to pay them off, okay? If I go at the end, oh yeah, I should have known, oh my god, how brilliant, like, that's how it should be. And if it does that, if it makes me, because Jason Aaron's Hulk run kind of had a lot of the same notes, I didn't feel like it paid it off quite so well. So, I mean, that's what I will say. But it continues super strongly.
I mean, yeah, I fully agree. And this is the first issue where Greg Capullo's art has really shone for me. Like, it's been consistently good, but in this issue it was just fantastic. And there's a scene in this where, first off, they use a cassette tape. Love that. And there's this brilliant panel where the Joker's taunting him through this cassette tape, and the cassette player has this kind of almost Joker-like face on it. It's such a subtle piece of art there, but it's absolutely fantastic. And again, the story in the back by Jock.
He didn't draw the story in the back. He just wrote it, which is odd.
No, that's wrong.
Really?
That is. Because I almost did the same thing as you. It's the writer's name's then writer and then Jock then artwork. So it was drawn by Jock. It was written by Scott Snyder.
So it was.
But yeah, again, that was, as ever, fantastic and intriguing.
Yeah.
Next book.
Fantastic Four. I wasn't going to get this, but once again, I'm a sucker for the Scotty Young variant. It was $2.99.
My favourite moment this week was us in the shop, and I was walking around with Dan, going to all the comic books, just going, oh, Scotty Young cover, and each time he would get progressively more and more annoyed. It was watching you in the shop.
They just
go,
kind of grabbed them all
Scotty!
And zoomed out.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna spoil the plot in this book if that's okay, because I feel like there's a lot of people not going to buy this book because they think, oh, it's a Fantastic Four book.
Have you ever picked up a Fantastic Four book before?
Never have. Wasn't going to. Basically, Reed Richards has hurt his arm.
Yep.
And this first issue sets up the premise of they are going to take a trip through space. They're going to take the Future Foundation.
Which is a bunch of alien children.
Yeah, it's like a school for gifted children. I don't know why I did that. And,
so X-Men.
Yeah, and they're going to take them on a ship, and we're going to get this kind of next generation space yarn type thing. I'm going to tell you what I thought first.
No, I was going to say, I assume the plan with this is to... because you didn't really explain why he's hurt his arm. Because they're kind of degenerating again from being... Like, their powers are kind of starting to wean, and he's the first one to notice. So I think his plan is to go into space and re-enter the cosmic atmosphere that gave them their powers in the first place.
So this was a solid first issue until I realized what this book was about.
Okay.
That panel at the end where I see the spaceship, I know what's going to happen. I know we're going to get this kind of out of continuity, epic, next generation Star Trek style space story. It blew my mind. I read it again, enjoyed it more the second time. I was just not going to buy this, and I was so pleased with it, and I think you should buy it. I have such faith in Matt Fraction after Hawkeye, reading the first Hawkeye, and this I just thought was fantastic. It's a new book that I will continue buying.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Fraction's writing is, as always, fantastic. The artwork it's solid. Yeah. It's nothing crazy special.
It's perfectly consistent.
Yeah.
Perfectly good way to tell this story.
Now, this book ends in a kind of, they're leaving Earth for a year, and they need a team to replace them. So he's set up a team which will start next week in FF, which is a team of Ant-Man, She-Hulk, She-Thing, and someone else who I can't remember, and the picture there's not helping.
Yeah.
And then they're also doing the Fantastic Four, which is the space one. I assume you're going to be buying Fantastic Four number 2?
Absolutely.
I'm going to be buying FF.
You're not going to continue with that?
I enjoyed this, but I'm not as excited with the future premise as I am with the FF premise.
Oh, I think the premise is amazing.
FF has the dream team of Matt Fraction and Michael Red on it.
Oh, I'm so going to keep buying that. It's so good.
I will definitely buy the second issue, but
Yeah.
FF I'm definitely going to start buying.
All New X-Men number one. Basically, again, I mean, this I'm not spoiling anything by telling you that.
This is a double
cover. Double cover, nice double cover. By telling you the premise from this, which is that basically, other members of the mutant community have decided that Cyclops is completely lost his way, and what happens is they decide to go back in time, get the X-Men from the past, the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby X-Men, and to bring them to the future in order for Scott to try and convince himself or to see what was wrong. It's kind of this high concept from Brian Michael Bendis. What did you think of this book?
Well, that's literally all we get in this book.
Yeah.
It's just kind of intro, and we also get introduced to some new mutants.
Yeah.
And they're kind of how... They're basically redoing what they used to do. They're going around finding mutants, introducing themselves, and taking them to the school.
Yeah.
The moment with the girl who can freeze time, and then you get Cyclops walking in, and he's like, we've all had this first moment. I'm Scott Summers, and you're one of us. Like, that moment is just incredible. Great panel, really shows the kind of badassness of it. I haven't picked up an X-Men book in a very long time. This is the first one in a while, and, well, other than Wolverine and the X-Men, but it's not really been the kind of what X-Men was. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I dug the kind of meeting new mutants, although I feel as though that's not going to be the premise going forward. It's going to be more the Cyclops meeting Cyclops.
There'll be some of that.
Which is, it's interesting, but I just don't know how much I care about that story. And something's going on with Beast, which again, I don't know how much I care about.
I don't think they should have announced the concept before we got the book, because with Fantastic Four, I didn't know what it was about, and when it hits, when we find out the concept, it blew my mind. Yeah. If I'd have gotten that last sequence where it was like, it would have blown my mind, but the fact I already knew, I had a chance to get used to it. The best part about this book was everything that was going on around the concept. It looked great, which makes me kind of excited for it. I mean, I just think this week in comics was just incredible. Like, Batman and Robin was really good. The other X-Men book, Legacy Out, was really good. I really enjoyed this. I think I will keep going for a bit, but the entire concept doesn't grip me hugely.
I also like the way they made the old X-Men appear old but not dated.
Yeah,
so
they kind of
had this. They had this like Mad
feel.
Men look to them, but yeah, with a youthfulness to it, and yeah, it looked really good. I'll pick up the next one. I don't know how many more I'll pick up. It depends how quickly they move with the story for me. But yeah, I will definitely pick it up. Now, the final book we have to talk about is Jason Aaron going #1, Thor, God of Thunder. You may notice it is signed. All will be revealed in Friday's episode. I don't know why I said that like some
He signed it. It's the
signed
reveal.
We got an interview with him. That's coming on Friday. I don't know. Basically, in this book, we get 3 different Thors. We get past, present, and future Thor. And there's this god killer who's after him and all of the gods. Bam! That's all we know as of now. I'm going to start off with this.
Okay.
It was incredible. It was absolutely stunning. The writing is perfect. The way that these 3 different versions of the character seem to have these personalities of their own, but are united in their personality. So, you know, past Thor's a bit more brash, present Thor's a bit more focused, and future Thor is just I'm so excited to read old Thor.
Oh, it's so epic. Drinking mead, high fantasy concept, Norse myths, brilliant. Right, like I would have words with thee, like that kind of great epic.
And the last
language.
panel is stunning.
I loved it. It was between this and Fantastic Four for my favorite book this week. They were both fantastic.
Batman.
Join us on Wednesday where we have maybe the biggest kind of
it's big.
hardest decision for who the greatest superhero of all time is coming up.
Yep, and then on Friday, as I mentioned already, we have our interview with Jason Aaron where we talk Thor, Hulk, and all sorts of other goodness.
We'll see you then.